Кімната Брифінгів. Українська ударна кампанія знаменує собою новий етап війни. 8 червня 2026 року. Брифінгова кімната Інституту вивчення війни. Українська кампанія ударів середньої дальності підірвала логістику в оперативному тилу Росії. Катерина Степаненко та Хорхе Баррос із Інституту вивчення війни пояснюють, як Україна повернула елементи механізованого маневрування на поле бою, досягнувши водночас тактичної переваги безпілотників у просторі та часі. Інститут вивчення війни прогнозує, що удари України по Росії, ймовірно, посиляться за умови подальшої підтримки з боку міжнародних партнерів для використання сприятливої динаміки на полі бою. Для відтворення брифінгу українською мовою налаштуйте, будь ласка, в Ютубі країну вашого перебування, в даному випадку Україна, та змініть у налаштуваннях Ютубу під відео відтворення звукової доріжки автодубляж українською мовою. Або для відтворення брифінгу українською мовою за допомогою субтитрів включіть, будь ласка, субтитри українською мовою внизу відео. Субтитри. Виберіть українську мову. Пам'ятаємо, що підписка на канал, вподобайка, коментар у чаті та під відео сприяє алгоритмам Ютуба продвинути наше відео на вищий рівень. Все це, а також поширення відео – найкраща вдячність за нашу працю.
Ukraine is successfully blunting Russian advances and reversing Russian gains in some sectors of the front line. ISW assesses that Ukraine's limited but successful reintroduction of tactical mechanized maneuver marks a new phase of the war. Ukraine has resecured an overall drone advantage and fielded systems that can disrupt Russian forces throughout their operational depth.
Positional warfare has dominated the battlefield in Ukraine since late 2023. With neither side being able to conduct operational maneuver.
The drone-dominated battlefield forces troops to disperse within the kill zone, an area where saturated tactical strikes and reconnaissance drones pose an elevated risk.
Russian forces' main form of offensive maneuver since 2025 has been infiltration, usually conducted by small groups of 1 to 3 infantrymen who attempt to use cover, concealment, and subterranean infrastructure to infiltrate the kill zone. As a result, both Russian and Ukrainian positions are intermixed in the kill zone, and operational maneuver is extremely difficult.
However, Ukraine's recent defensive operations in 2026 have achieved strategic and operational effects across the theater. Notably, Ukraine's counterattacks in the Alexandrivka direction disrupted Russian plans for the spring-summer 2026 offensive, likely forcing Russia to divert valuable troops to the southern sector of the front line.
Meanwhile, Ukrainian commanders have intensified Ukraine's mid-range strike campaign and achieved tactical drone supremacy in space and time in some sectors of the front. In late 2025, Ukrainian troops intensified drone strikes against Russian ground-based air defenses, conducting no fewer than 107 strikes according to ISW's assessment. Attacking Russia's air defense network allows subsequent Ukrainian strikes to target other valuable assets in the Russian rear.
In May 2026, Ukrainian forces began to interdict key Russian logistic lines in occupied Ukraine, particularly along the Mariupol-Donetsk City Highway and the M14 highway that connects Russia with occupied Crimea.
Earlier in 2026, Ukrainian forces started actively disrupting Russian railway logistics in occupied Ukraine and Russia's western regions. Russia is heavily reliant on its railway network for operational logistics, and a successful Ukrainian campaign against freight trains, fuel tankers, can further degrade Russia's ability to bring heavy equipment, fuel, and other material closer to the battlefield.
Russian mill bloggers have stated that some Russian interdiction strikes are no longer achieving the desired effects, judging by high number of Ukrainian drones still in the air.
Ukrainian forces likely achieved the drone overmatch by increasing the interception of Russian tactical UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles, and suppressing drone launch positions. SpaceX's surprise cutoff of Starlink to Russian forces operating in Ukraine on February 1 worsened Russian command and control problems, enabling Ukrainian counterattacks.
Even though Russian forces' loss of Starlink was a strong catalyst, Ukraine's months of preparations and planning set off a chain of successful counterattacks.
ISW forecasts that Ukraine's intermediate-range strike campaign is far from its zenith. Assuming continued support from Ukraine's international partners, the campaign will likely intensify over the course of 2026 as Ukraine fields new weapons capable of striking Russia's operational rear. Ukraine's suppression and destruction of enemy air defense campaign may enable Ukrainian fixed-wing aircraft to fly closer to the front line and at higher altitudes.
Ukraine's advantage in intermediate-range strikes is notably not permanent. Russia will likely develop countermeasures to Ukraine's advantages. At this stage, Ukraine's international partners have a rare and temporary opportunity to help Ukraine exploit favorable battlefield dynamics.
Per ISW's long-standing assessment, Putin's theory of victory assumes that Russian forces will be able to win an attritional war provided that Russia's creeping advances continue. However, Russian forces are currently advancing and infiltrating only 3 to 5 square kilometers per day. This is a significant decrease from Russia's daily rate at this time last year.
Ukraine's complete halting of Russian advances would invalidate Putin's theory of victory and impose difficult decisions on the Kremlin.